Hey everyone, it's Alexis. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday. I know my calendar says that there's still 8 days left till Christmas, and that is because I have to film this a week prior in order to be able to go on vacation up to visit my in-laws and not have any stressors or anything. But this is premiering on New Year's Eve. Makes sense, right? Because judging by the title of this video, we are talking about New Year's resolutions. I'm really excited for 2020 to be over, and I don't know if I made that clear yet this whole year, but I'm so glad you guys are here. Now, if you're anything like me, you've played with New Year's resolutions, you've made them, and by February or March, we've kissed them goodbye. And I feel like as an adult in my mid-20s, I should not necessarily take resolutions seriously, but change. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about my own personal resolution a little bit later in this video, but I thought we would talk about the history and why these things were done first. All of the information I'm going to be spewing to you today is provided by an article from the History Channel website, history.com. I will include the link in the description box down below if you want to go and read that yourself. And there was a lot of interesting things. I typically don't talk about things that require a ton of historical research, but I thought in order to make this video a little bit longer and not just 3 minutes of, hey, this is my resolution, like, comment, and subscribe, I'd give a little bit of history so we know why we celebrate these things or why our ancestors chose to do this and it's been passed down. So, yeah, let's get started. There's a lot. This was a lot deeper than what I originally thought it to be. And if you see me squinting or looking down at any point during this video, it is because A, I can't see crap really well without my glasses, but my glasses reflect my light, so we're making do. And I have a list, I have a cheat sheet down here of all of the information that I gathered from this article. So, according to the History Channel website, New Year's resolutions, or the ancestor to modern day resolutions, can be traced back to the ancient Babylonians nearly 4,000 years ago. What they would do for their New Year celebration, which was actually held in March when they would plant the new crops for the season, and then a little bit down the line, the calendar got tweaked, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But they took that time of year in March, or what is now March, and they planted their new crops. If they needed to crown a new king, that was when they did it. If not, that was when they reaffirmed and re-pledged their allegiance to the current king. And that's kind of cool. It was this big, long 12-day festival in which they planted the new crops, they rang in the allegiance to their king, or they brought in the new one, and that's when he was crowned. And they made promises to their gods to repay their debts to others and also to return any objects that they had borrowed. So the repaying of their debts and the promise to return the objects that they have borrowed is what is considered to be the ancestor of our modern day resolutions. Jumping forward a little bit in time to the ancient Romans, Julius Caesar actually was the one who tweaked the calendar and made January the start of the year, or the official start of the year. They named it January after the Roman god Janus, which is the god of arches and doorways. He is depicted as a two-faced god, one that looks back to the past in the year prior and one that looks forward into the year ahead. They would offer up sacrifices to this deity Janus for good fortune in the coming year. So that's kind of cool. Now, not to be undone, early Christians also had a New Year celebration slash alternative. So they didn't, I mean, they weren't much for partying. So in around, I believe it was around 1758, John Wesley, who is the founder of the Methodist denomination, actually started these New Year's Eve, New Year church services as an alternative for those who didn't want to go out and party with the masses. And most of these services would be spent in prayer, and they'd read scripture, and they would sing hymns, and bring in the new year that way. This type of service is actually still held in some evangelical Protestant denominations, and it's kind of celebrated the same way. There's lots of prayer, and they make resolutions for the year to come. Now, obviously, New Year's is pretty much mostly secular / non-religious. We have parties, we stay up till midnight, we watch the ball drop, there's New Year, the first kiss to ring in the new year, there's great food, there's drinking, and we've really just taken New Year's and made it, we've modernized it from planting crops and making sacrifices to gods. So this leads into some modernized statistics and realizations of resolutions. Now, this is a study that was kind of, hyperlinked into the article. In order to actually read the number findings, you had to pay for it, and I didn't want to do that, but they summarized it. But according to this study, 45% of Americans reported to having written out or made a New Year's resolution. However, of that 45%, only 8% of people have been successful and seen it through to the end. So, all that to be said, I did make a resolution for this coming year, and as it is New Year's Eve, I will share it. And really and truly, my only thing that I want to really and truly focus on, I mean, yeah, I have business plans and all that for the growing of my YouTube channel and the future, some hopes and wants that I want to put into action for myself, as far as my education stuff goes. But for my New Year's resolution, the one thing that I'm working on is to take my health seriously and get myself healthy. Now, I'm not sick, I'm not sickly, but I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome last November, and there are things that I have to do I have to get my body in working order in order to better my chances of having a baby. And so 2021 is the year that I'm going to take that seriously. I'm going to start doing all the things that I need to be doing to get my body healthy. So that is my one resolution. And I'm going to do my best to keep myself accountable. We might do monthly talks about how it's going next year. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed a little bit of a history lesson. Like I said, I'll make sure to include the article that I got all this information from in the description box down below. Also, comment down below your New Year's resolution, what you thought of this video, if you even like making resolutions. Also, make sure you're subscribed and the little bell notification button is clicked so you're notified anytime I upload new content. I hope you guys had a happy holiday season, and I hope you guys have a happy new year, and I will see you when I get back. Bye, guys.